Where I find inspiration is really in things that surround me, in everyday objects that I handle or that are on the streets. It's not so much just those objects that I paint, but it's also what inspires me is if I look at them and I think what kind of painting they would make. It's often things that are not normally the focus of your attention. So I don't paint things that are specially aestheticized and designed, but I paint things that don't have a focus on so much normally. So the tools I'm using, the materials I'm using, they are all painting materials, but I use a really wide range of them. I don't have a favorite technique. I want to change the materials I use with each pictorial subject that I paint. I have some rules that I follow in my work. So I paint objects in 1:1 size, which means that if I paint something large, it can be something like 4 meters long. But if I paint a really small object, it can just be a few centimeters big. So I don't want to change the size of an object I paint, and I also don't want to change how it looks like. So I don't develop one technique with that I can then paint whatever I choose, but I want actually how I want the size of the real object to influence what the painting is. So I also want the surface of the object to influence the technique I use and to adapt my painting process. So I do a lot of trials. So it depends really on what subject I paint. For instance, for my fabric works, which are paintings of towels or of large fabrics, I use very thin watercolor, and I use it like a dye, so it totally dyes the canvas. Whereas in my meat paintings, for instance, I use encaustic, which is beeswax with pigment, and I do this because the texture can be really close to how meat looks like. So I couldn't substitute them. I just try to get to vary my way of working in order to adapt my process. So the process in the studio is I do lots of tests, I guess, because each painting technique is such a different process for each subject. For instance, for my sand paintings, which are painted with dots, because like a sand grain is like a dot, and I didn't manage to paint sand otherwise. I just then developed this idea, okay, I could paint dots that symbolize the sand, that depict sand. So I did lots of studies. What kind of canvas could I use for this? Because canvas is also grainy, or is also like a brown dots, unprimed canvas. So there's a lot of time where I make little studies by different type of canvas, make studies with this to see what actually I want. And then at some point I start a whole painting, which can be for small work. It could be that I have the object in the studio, or in this case like a pile of sand in the studio. Or it can be if I paint a whole sand pit that's like a sandbox that kids would play in, so I paint from photographs that I take.